Hello, Stampers. Welcome to Learning with Friends. I am Pat Fairless from Fairless Stamp and Flair, and happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're not watching this now live because I'm not recording it live, or I pre-recorded it. I'm not live, but I hope you're enjoying the day with friends and family, or just relaxing and having a good day, remembering all of our blessings, right? Sometimes we tend to forget those. But we are blessed. And it is Thursday, the last Thursday of the month. So that means it is Funfold Thursday. And today I have a Funfold for you. It's probably not new. Maybe you've seen it. I had not seen it. It was new to me, but a lot of things are new to me, even though I've been doing this for 15 plus years. I still see a lot of new things out there. So I thought I'd share it because I thought it was kind of interesting. It's not too hard, but let's just go ahead and flip my camera down and we will get started. So the card I'm going to make, I'm calling it a side box fun fold, or a left side box. It's really a box on the side of a card, kind of. And this is the card I'm going to use to demonstrate the fun fold. And if you open it up, you can see why I'm calling it a side box, because this box kind of opens, and then your focal point here on the front that you see when the card is closed, when your person pulls it out of the envelope, it is adhered to this little flat section of the box, and so it pops up when you open it up. It's very easy to make, but let's just go ahead and show you how it's done. I do have a tutorial for this. You will find this on my blog at some point. I think every card I show today is going to be on my blog, so you will be able to download the tutorial. But let me just hold this up close so you can see where we score. We're going to score at 1/2, 2 1/8, 2 5/8, 4 1/4, 3 1/2. Oh, and then the other piece is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. But these are the scoring dimensions. And there is a template on this tutorial, so I will hold this for you for a minute as well. If you want to screenshot it, you can. If you don't want to wait until the tutorials get uploaded, you'll be able to have those dimensions handy. Just take a quick screenshot. Okay, so our card base is our standard A2 size card that we're typically using, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and we are going to score it at 1/2. Now I have to make sure I don't have my cutting blade. Get that one out of the way. So we're going to score it at 1/2, 2 1/8, 2 5/8, and 4 1/4. And that is all the scoring that there is. Now, before I put this out of the way, I'm going to show you. So now what I would do is fold each of these into the hill on the card. We're just going to fold them and give them a good burnish. I didn't totally put my trimmer away because sometimes when I make this, I find I have to trim a little piece off. So the easiest way to show you is this is how we want it to look. So that 1/2 inch piece wants to get butted up against this particular fold and that, or score line, and that's the 4 1/4. Now, what I found the easiest way to do this is to just take this and fold it over flat. We'll put adhesive on there, and then the edge here should line up with this score line. I have found, depending on how the accuracy of my scoring is, sometimes it is a smidge long, and if it's a little bit long, then it doesn't like you to open this up. So what I have just gotten used to doing on my cards is I just take, like, maybe just trim a tiny little bit off from here just to make sure. I'm going to call it a smidgen. It's not even measurable. It's just a tiny little piece just to make sure you have clearance. It's probably less than a 16th. But don't bother measuring it. Just take a little smidgen off. And then we want to put some good strong adhesive. So I'm going to use tear and tape. And I like to get it right up against the score line. And I will tear that off, backing off, because I like to fill the whole thing. So I'm going to add another piece along the edge. Okay. And you can tear it or you can cut it, whatever you like best. It doesn't, either one works. Sometimes I find it, depending on what I'm using it for, easier to cut, and sometimes it's easier to just tear it. So now I'm going to fold this edge under, this 1/2 inch score line under, and I'm going to fold it over on the third one from the edge, or you could call, I guess, the second. It's the third one we scored, and that's where we're going to fold it, and then we're just going to push it flat down. And when we open this, we have our little box, and that is basically the basis of this fun fold. How easy is that? Pretty easy, right? So now we just kind of want to decorate it, and I'm using the tartan foil. This foil comes, this is the copper clay, and one side is copper and the other side is white and copper, and both sides are really foiled. And I hope it doesn't mess the camera up because it kind of shines. So sometimes the camera doesn't like shiny stuff. I know when I'm taking pictures for my blog, even after doing this blog post for, oh goodness, how long have I been doing it? Over 4 years now, since COVID. Basically, I got laid off from my job at COVID and decided I was going to retire. So started, but then I got bored really, really quickly. So I started spending my time after I worked on my to-do list for a couple of months. I decided to start a blog, but I still, after all these years, I still haven't really figured out how to do a great job of photographing shiny stuff. Anything with embossing, like heat embossing or glimmer paper, just anything with shimmer and shine. I find it very hard to photograph. And if anybody's got any tips for that, let me know. So I'm just putting my 2 pieces of designer series paper on here, just for your information. This one measures, what does this one measure? This one measures 1.5 by 5 3/8. And this one, when you get the tutorial, this will be on your inside directions because this is kind of the inside of your card. This one measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. So easy enough. Now that's done. So now we're going to make our focal point. And for the focal point, I used this stamp set from the Fall Mini, Enjoying Little Things. I just thought it was cute. To me, it looked like it was going to be pretty versatile. And I didn't have stamp sets like this, so I went ahead and ordered it. I haven't used it a lot. But I thought this little dog was cute. So my die cuts here are made with the deckled circles is the inside white piece, and then the outside one is the Everyday Details dies. And I already have those cut, and I use 2 of the same size, one for the inside and one for the front. You can either use them the same size, or you can make your inside one a little bit smaller if you want. But we're going to go ahead and stamp this with this stamp set. And just a hint, I used this May Your Day Be Filled With stamp, and because it's a photopolymer, I wanted it to, as closely as I could, I wanted the arc to match the diameter of my circle or my circumference. So I did spread it out just a little bit, okay? But that's great when you can have photopolymers and you can do that. You can squeeze them in or bring them out, whatever you're after. So grab, because this is a photopolymer stamp set, we are going to grab our paper piercing mat. And I am using Mellow Moss. And we're just going to stamp this on here. And then on the bottom, we're going to stamp the little sunshine and smiles. May your day be filled with sunshine and smiles. This is I'm making it as a birthday card. I figured it would make kind of a good masculine card or gender neutral card. And the little dog I stamped on a scrap of basic white, and there are no dies, so I did fussy cut him out, and I'm not going to make you watch me fussy cut. So I have one pre-fussy cut, and I just put him on there with a couple little dimensionals. And where are my dimensionals? I feel like every video I'm looking for my dimensionals. I gotta come up with a better place to put them. Okay. And I'm using the little ones because he's little. He's probably about an inch long and maybe with his tail 3/4 of an inch wide, but otherwise almost more like a half. And we will just set him in there. He's so cute. I thought he was really cute. And then I'm going to mount this on my circle. So on my everyday details die cut. So I'm going to put him on here. And I'm going to make both of these first before I assemble, and I'll show you why. On the inside, I stamped the happy birthday circle. I could have put something in the center, but I wasn't sure how easy it would be to write on this spoiled paper, so I wanted to be able to say, hi, love you, Pat, or whatever, and I'll just do that in the center, right? But we could have put an image or something, stamped something in there as well. So on here, I want that happy birthday stamp. Where is it? Right here. And I did that again with Mellow Moss. And I think I should have maybe inked up my Mellow Moss ink pad. It feels, it's behaving like it's a little dry. Not bad. But I do think it needs inking up. So now let's go ahead and put this on the other everyday details on the top of clay. So now the next thing we want to do, this one is going to go on the top, and we want to figure out where we're going to put this. And since these are exact same size, I found it worked better if I laid this one in place first where I wanted it, because then I could see exactly where I wanted the one over the top. Okay, so that's why I did the inside kind of in parallel with it. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to actually adhere this one down. There's no reason I can't. You could use temporary adhesive in case you felt you did maybe have to move it around a little bit, but I'm going to line the front one up with this. So, and I'm just going to try to center it in here, side to side. I don't know why I tend to leave a little less space at the top than the bottom usually. But now the only place I want to adhere this is to this edge here of this box fold. Now, what I found, let's say I didn't have this here, I kind of know now because I have it here. But sometimes it's hard to figure out where to put your adhesive, right? And I'm going to use tear and tape again. So, because I want it to hold well. But now I know I want it to go, I can see how far out to go because I've got this circle underneath. So rather than take a chance of getting adhesive on my top circle, I am just going to lay this on here and I'm going to keep it. Okay. And we'll pull this off, and we probably could get by with one piece. I didn't want it to fall apart. Some of my cards get a little bit maybe more used or reviewed, we'll call it. Like it may not go in an envelope to somebody immediately, maybe around here for a while. So pull that off, and now I can just lay this right over the top. And I even went so far as kind of, if I could, I tried to find the holes. So the holes semi-lined up. If they didn't line up exactly, no big deal. It doesn't matter. You just don't want this one showing out when you close it. You don't want to see that bottom one, right? And that completes our card. The other thing I really like about this card is it stands up so well. So if you send it to somebody who you know likes to display their cards, they can stand it up, and as long as you set it down, it stands right up. So that's the first card I wanted to show you. Now here I did cover my flap on my envelope. So let's just go ahead, since we have a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and do that, but I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper just because that's how I do it. So, because I don't want to get any more glue on my tabletop than necessary, and this kind of keeps it off. So I like to use liquid adhesive on my envelope flap. I can get it closer to the edges, and I know the post office, even though I put non-machinable stamps on all my cards, I don't know, sometimes I feel like they still get a little worse for wear. So we are just going to lay this on here. This is how I do my flap. And I have learned over the years to keep, like you can almost see just a smidgen, one of my favorite measurement words, of white. Because if you get it beyond, then you tend to catch it and it pulls it loose. So we'll just grab our little snips and we can cut around this quickly and we will have a completed card. I just follow the envelope or the flap of the envelope. It's the easiest. And there we go. So now I have 2 birthday cards. How about that? So that is what I wanted to show you. That I'm calling that a side box fun fold. And let me show you the other 2 cards. They are both Christmas cards. I mentioned last week I needed to count my Christmas cards, and I didn't have quite as many as I thought. So I am still working on making Christmas cards, but I'm probably within 10, so that's not too bad. I have 2 more here today, so I'm probably down to 8. That's good, right? This one I used the Shepherd's Care, it's called, card. And this is a super simple card as well. This is from both of them. Both images are from the Shepherd's Care, or just Shepherd's Care it's called. And I used this designer series paper. Is gorgeous. It is in the current fall mini. And this is the basic beige color. It comes in, I think, cherry cobbler and don't know if it's garden green or shaded spruce, I'm not real sure, but there's different colors. And the one side is foiled in this kind of abstract pattern, and then the opposite side is sort of like a brushed, water brushed look. So this is the opposite side of this. And then this foil around here is the textured metallic, and I almost missed this. This is in the current annual catalog. It's way down in the bottom of the page. I almost missed it. It comes in 3 different colors, gold, copper, and I think they call the other one silver, but it's really more of a dark, little purpley silver, but that is that card. And so here I used a deckled rectangles and deckled circles, and this one is like 1 step smaller than the one on top, so that makes it really easy to make sure it's hidden behind there if you make the one underneath just the smaller, next smaller layer. Okay, this card here will be on my fairlessstampandflair.com website tomorrow, so you will be able to download the tutorial for this one. The tutorial, other than the materials used, it's the same, right? The instructions for how to make the fun fold are exactly the same. And then for my last card that I wanted to share with you, I used decorative trees. Love this stamp set. So fun. You have all these different dies to make your different designs of trees. And the designer series paper here is the Sentimental Christmas paper. It's the one that Stampin' Up! Donates $3 for every package they sell to, I forget exactly what it was. I think it's a reading, to help kids read. And so here's that card. And this one, I use the exact same sizes here on here. And I don't have it exactly centered, but that's good because then I had room for my my sentiment out here. And the dies that I used on this one are Thoughtful Expressions dies. Those are another of my favorites. They have circles. They're not exact circles. If I call this a rectangle, I call the other one a circle. And they have lots of layers, so it's nice for layering like we have with this. So that's my 3 cards. What do you think of that fun fold? Isn't it? It's kind of fun, right? When I saw it, I'm like, well, that's a little bit unique and different than, I've not seen one like that before. So I liked it, and it's, as you can see, it's very, very easy to make and didn't take us any time at all. So let me flip my camera back. All right, couldn't find my mouse. My mouse went to sleep. Or the cursor went to sleep. The mouse was awake, but couldn't find the little pointer to put me back. So again, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you like that fun fold. I hope you try it. It's pretty easy, and it's a great way to use up some of that designer series paper that we collect. I know how that goes. Don't tell me you don't have a whole stash of designer series paper, because if you're a paper crafter, you've got designer series paper, right? So if you have any questions and something wasn't clear, please leave a comment, ask. I'm here to help. That's the purpose of these Learning with Friends videos, is to try to teach you something maybe you haven't seen before, or remind you of something you've seen and I'm like, oh, I haven't done that in a long time. So again, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great day. Enjoy your blessings, and we will see you next week with something else. God bless.